Okay. Okay, do that in a few seconds. Okay, admit. Hi, Karen. How are you?
Hi, I'm
Welcome.
just finishing my lunch, so I'm gonna stay off screen for a little bit.
No problem.
Thank you.
We've got Kelly coming in. Hi, Kelly. Oh, she's connecting still. Welcome, Kelly. See you joined in. Glad you could be here today. Hello. Sherry's coming in. Hope everyone's doing well today. It's been a little rainy here in Northwest Indiana. Kind of a gray day, but it's been good for getting work done. Hey, Sherry, how are you?
I feel good.
Oh, my Siri just answered for you. You guys are all unmuted or muted. That's why. Okay, it's good. And I think I have one more. I think Lori is coming on later, but I'm gonna see who our last participant is for the morning, afternoon session. Let's see here. Lisa. Yeah, Lisa. Okay. Cool. Everyone's almost here. Sherry said she had to be here. So cool. Thank you for joining. Okie dokie. So I'm gonna wait one more minute for Lisa to join in, and then we'll just get started on some introduction, just basic stuff, just to kind of see where you guys are at. I love master classes because it means that everyone's here live, and those that are buying the replay, that's fine too. But it's so awesome to be in the presence of people who are working and they're in the energy of helping other people. And it just makes it so much different and so much more enjoyable to me. So it feels like we're in a real class a little bit. I usually teach in person, so this is my space. I love being with people. So I'm going to go ahead and ask if you guys all want to unmute. Karen said she's finishing up lunch, so I'll let her eat a little bit more, and then we'll get going on some introduction. So this is my course. This is how I have entitled it, Sharing Your Gifts and Feeling Confident with Raindrop, because most of the time we learn all these new things and we're just wondering, okay, Lord, how am I going to market myself? How am I going to be the best I can be at this business? Especially when Raindrop is not that popular. It is not something that if you say, oh yes, I'm going to go to get a massage, a lot of people know what a massage is, but not everyone knows what a raindrop is. So not only do we have the task of informing them and educating them, but then we have to do this even deeper role, which is connecting to them and showing them why they might need it. So welcome. I've been doing this for quite a while now, almost 7 years will be in December. And things have shifted and changed over the years, but overall, Raindrop is just where I've stuck. And I'm so excited to see what happens in the future because we got lots more work to do. Okay, so let me see. There we go. Okay, so if anyone would like to just go ahead and unmute, you guys are welcome to share tell me a little bit about who you are. Tell me about your specific niche and who you treat already and who your clientele are. Maybe you don't have a lot of people that you're working with right now, and that's okay too. But just whatever you would like it to be, maybe. And then tell me about your current offering, what you have available for people right now. And then tell me about your biggest struggle. Those are the things I would love to hear. So if you can unmute one of you at a time or all of you right at the same time. Don't worry about jumping in, and we're all here together. So Sherry, why don't you start? Are you there? Let me see if I can get her to unmute and start.
Yes, I'm here.
Yay! Sherry has been with me for a while, so I'm excited.
Off my phone.
Awesome. Well, if you would like to share a little bit about your journey how you got involved in this. Um, all of those specific things, that'd be awesome. And tell us about what you do right now.
Okay. My phone, there we go. All right. Sorry about that.
You good?
I'm good now. I have my phone on, so I was getting double echo in here. I forgot it was a Zoom.
Oh, yes, the Zoom.
So what did you want me to talk about? Just introduce myself?
Yeah, tell us how you got started with it. Tell us what you've learned from Raindrop, how it's helped you. Tell us who really comes to you a lot right now. Like if you have specific clients that come to you, they all have the same problem. Um, whatever you offering right now, like what's your current like sale or things like that, if you have any of that going. And then tell me your biggest struggle.
Okay. Well, I can tell you my biggest struggle is doing this right here. Getting on and talking in front of people. And I think I started Raindrop back in 2017 when Amelia came here to New York, and I was just drawn to I was in a full-time job where it was very stressful, and my husband had health issues. So I needed something to help myself and hopefully help him. So I took the class, and then I started doing raindrops, and I knew that that's where I needed to be. I'm a caregiver. On the Enneagram, I'm a number 2. So I'm a helper and a caregiver and all of those things. And the clients that I see a lot are people that have a lot of emotional things going on, stress related. And I retired in March of 2020. And my husband had a heart attack. So he's had a lot of major health issues. So oils and raindrop were definitely one of the reasons I wanted to learn more about the raindrop. So my clients, I have a repeat client that had a traumatic brain injury. So she comes back quite frequently when she's not in Florida. She's here at least twice a month. And then I have another gentleman that has a lot of emotional issues going on, and he comes, well, maybe once a month. And my clients, that's what I'm dealing with, is a lot of what I'm going through. So I don't know if that's helped attract them to me. I don't really. I'm a very quiet person. So, and Amelia knows that I have a lot going on in my life right now.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. I know we've been working together for a while, and you're adapting, and that's what the whole point of this is how do we adapt when we've got people that are coming out of a world crisis, who have no idea how to handle their emotional stress, who have no idea how to handle their physical body stress, and how are we going to get them on our table to help them, because we know we have this gift. So you're in the right spot. It's daunting to think of starting a business in this time, but you're not really starting. You've been there for a while. You're going, but you're just shifting. So it's good.
Yes.
Awesome. So Kelly or Karen, would either of you like to share a little bit? I feel like I know you a little bit, but not as much as I would like to know you. So share a little bit for us.
My name's Kelly Potosny. I'm in Ohio, and been with Young Living for about 5 years now, and got into it because I got hit by a drunk driver head on. And the Western medicine is nothing but constant pain pills and muscle relaxers and sleep enhancers, and I didn't want any part of that. So my daughter had been in with it for about a year, and I decided to do some research and try to get help with everything, which led me into the Raindrop. And then I decided to take the courses with Sherry Cummings, and have just developed it from there. opened up my own LLC in January of this year, and have 2 chiropractors that are working with me that love the Raindrop, and they're Young Living people as well. So I feel like God's opening doors, and it's time for me to step up and learn and do more with it. Yeah, it's been a crazy journey. So super excited. I do equine and canine massage as well. I'm certified in those. And I'm going to work with Candace Hoke and take her equine Raindrop so I can offer it to the animals as well.
That's so great. I have another couple students that are going to go to that as well. So it's necessary. We know that animals can absorb and feel our frequency and feel our energy. So we need to take care of them too. So it's awesome. And so you were a massage therapist before all this. Is that right?
No,
No?
no.
Okay.
So it all came together at once, and I did my equine certification and canine along with the Raindrops. So and then now I'm going to, in the spring, go to Michigan, and I want to get into the vibrational Raindrop as well.
Yes. Oh, it's so good. You're going to love it. Sherry took the class with me last year. I can't take any class while I'm pregnant, so I have to put mine off. But yeah, it's beautiful work. That's so cool. I'm so excited for you. I think that knowing that you're not already a massage therapist, this will help you even more, since it's very hard to be in that double saddle, I think, because massage therapists so much see the physical stuff and that's all they see. They don't really see the other side of it. So I feel like if God's leading you into this spiritual healing path and stuff, it's gonna do amazing things. And how are you feel now? How's your body feeling? Do you feel back to normal or?
Yeah, I've got a lot of issues on my left side, but between chiropractic care and the Raindrop and the oils, the biggest thing for me to learn was it was consistency with them. And it wasn't going to be a 12-hour, do it once and then you don't have to do anything again for 8 hours. So you have to continually do stuff. So I'm much better than I was 2 years ago. I'm able to walk around, my legs aren't swelling, and there's just been a lot of healing. So
Wow. That's amazing. Wow, that is a huge testimony. And I'm sure that working with these chiropractors, you hear a lot of accident cases. So that already puts me into thinking, like, how are we going to pinpoint that for you? Because you've got the market right there, which is so great. So I'm so pumped. I'm so excited.
I'm excited too. And that's I've got so much to share that I have to narrow it down and figure out how to pinpoint, like you said, because it's there's so much good to it that I just want to spew everything.
Yes, absolutely. Well, we'll narrow it down a little bit here today. Okay, and I don't know if Karen's ready yet. Hi, Karen. Welcome. Good to see your face. Oh, here, let's unmute you. 1 second.
I said I didn't quite finish, but let's just get on with the program. So I'm in Seattle, a little bit different time zone than everybody else, I think. So it's nice to meet you all. And I've been in Young Living since 2018, I guess, and am not as far along as I wished I would be. Last year in December, I decided to take a care class, and I had done Raindrop with Tamara Packer 3 or 4 times, and then I also am a yoga instructor, and so I thought, well, I really want to get like the official care, so I did that, and my main instructor is Bernadette Williams. I also went on to do the harmonic Raindrop Technique. So I've gone through all the classes. I'm at the part where I, do a skills test. And my care program is to the point that I have to teach the all of the 13 different VitaFlex points and all of that. I guess I find that harder to do than the raindrop.
Yeah.
But I have all the rest of everybody, all the teaching, everything else is done except for that part. So that's kind of lagging behind. So I'm going for both certifications. Not that I need both, but I just figure because I'm not a massage therapist that it will help me.
Yes.
So my goal was to kind of marry the yoga and the chakra work and the raindrop all together to try and get some kind of an income out of this, because now at this point I have a lot of money invested and I need some return. And I don't know how to really go through the business part of starting a business, and I haven't done that. And so I'm really lacking in that as my struggle, that I have all this money out and then I don't have any way to claim it and start my business. So that's what I don't know. And then my current offering at this point is I can only do donation basis because I am not certified. So, and people generally give me between $40 and $70 a time. And I have one family that comes regularly, but they're relocating to Idaho. So I will be losing that. So just marketing myself with technology and getting the business are kind of my big struggles.
Yes. Good to know. That's really great. That, I mean, we're all at that point at some point. And to get through that testing, you're doing the dual thing. So you kind of have to take your time there. So I have some good ideas for donation-based work and getting yourself, just basically get your name out there. So that's how we all started in the beginning anyway. So it's just best to know that you're in the right spot. You're not, no one here is further along or behind or ahead or anything. It's just where you are. And that's where you're going to meet your clients. That's the best part of it. And because you all have such specific things that you're going towards, it still just makes it one thing. What's you? What is the part of you that you had to heal, that you needed? Why did you find all these classes? Why did you go there? Why did you become a yoga teacher? Why did Kelly go into doing all the animal stuff? Why did Sherry go into caretaking support groups and wanting to help that way? Like how come she pulls in all the people that need emotional help because they are drained, they have no more energy? So this is great. This is exactly what I wanted to hear. So with that being said, I'm just honored that you trust to come to a place where it's safe, and that the fact that we're working together, it's all about community. I love to give to my community because I know that I needed this when I began, and part of it is I didn't have that. So my commitment to you guys is to share what I know and to share what has worked and to share what has not worked, and also pivot when it's time to pivot, because sometimes things just don't work and we got to change courses. So anyway, we'll move forward. So thank you again for sharing.
Can
I
I just say something?
Yeah.
It has to do with your struggles. So, you know, in April, I did a big promotion and I turned 62. So I'm older than most starting out in this. What I did was I did the $62 raindrop and I got all these people. I had 13 people come. I did 13 people between April and May. And then it's getting the people to come back. So that is one of my biggest struggles, is trying to get repeat clients that I can, you know, it was a promotion that I ran. So now I need to figure out how I can get them back, because a lot of them came for that and they just didn't call back to come back. So that is a struggle.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Good point. I wrote it down. I'm a note
Okay.
taker, so I wrote everything down that you guys have said. Okay, so I'm gonna pop this little face view off and we're gonna pray. We're also gonna put on some oils. So if you want to take 1 or 2 minutes to just go grab any of these oils, or one or all of them if you have your oils close by. As a care instructor, we always start out with our classes with oils, and I think it's just fitting to continue that tradition. So I will give you all just a quick minute to go grab an oil. Perfect. Okay, Sherry's back. Cool. Okay, so we're going to begin with gratitude, and we're just going to place gratitude. If you don't have gratitude, just whatever oil you have, you can put in your hand and just, but just grateful that we found these tools. And so we're just going to put it right over our chest bone. And we're just going to put it also on the tops of our ears, because everything that comes into us and before us, it's a gift. Even if the things that you walk through are hard and challenging, it is still meant to be for our purpose and for our good. And so just grateful what you've been through, grateful what has brought you here. Just pull gratitude from your experiences and your life lessons, because you are hope for someone else. You are hope for someone else who has not been able to find the healing that you have already found. And when that comes into play and you begin showing other people that you didn't give up and you didn't surrender and you didn't, leave this earth, you stayed here and you stayed focused on God and focused on healing, that allows you to know that you're able to inspire other people as well. So just breathe that in. If you know a few things that you're grateful for, you can say it to yourself. I just love that blend. It's so good. And then we're going to put highest potential right on our forehead. So this is the one that it enables us to open up the blocks that we have for receiving, and also it clears any blocks that we have for communicating. So I like to put just a drop in my hands and rub it over my forehead. We have some glands up in our brain that need to be cleared regularly. The pineal gland is one of those. So just rub it in. I like going clockwise 3 times. And then I generally just hold it until I feel like my forehead is just calms down a little bit. You can usually feel your pulse. But so often we absorb the feelings of other people. We absorb their intentions. We absorb their negativity. And it makes our perception of life as if it's what someone else's, and people try to block our success. So taking all the blocks away that we may have there. And then valor is going to be for our wrists, and this is for courage. This is just plain old courage to learn something new, because I know you've all been through years and years of experience now. You've taken classes, you've been like Karen said, she's invested lots of time and energy and money into this. And so this is something different. This is not the practical skill of the hands and body work and the oils. This is actually how I'm going to be the best version of myself, how I'm going to give of myself. And it's more so being able to be humble enough that people will want to be around us, and that we have something to give. So just hold that there on your wrist, just like we start our Great Day protocol. And then the last one is cedarwood. So this is taking out any negative programming that we have towards money, towards receiving financial support and benefits, and anything that anyone has put on us as if like, why are you doing that? What is your business about? Go ahead and just anoint the top of your head. So many people, my own experience is that many of my family members didn't understand what I was doing. And so I would, from my Young Living upline, I would be encouraged, reach out to your family, see if they'll come and learn about oils. All of them were like, that is crazy. That is weird. I don't want that. That's not good. And so that for a long time was my vision was, people don't want this. Why would I do that? So taking away that and taking away any other perceptions that people have given you or put on you. so that you can uncover that, whatever's stored in there, because cedar wood's high in sesquiterpenes. It deletes out that negative programming. And we're just going to say this prayer. It kind of is an adaptation from the St. Francis of Assisi prayer. And it's, Father God, let us be an instrument of your peace. Where there has been pain, let your healing free us from any bondage that keeps us from doing your work and through your will. Where there has been sadness, let us sow joy and love so that others may experience the gift of grace. Finally, Lord, bless all of our works, thoughts, and deeds, that we may be a reflection of your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen. Thank you again for being here. You're welcome to use any of these oil ideas. And you'll get this entire PDF as an email after, so you'll be able to have this as well. Okay, so how is this going to help you? Today, we're going to focus on three main things. How do we zone in on our gifts, our own personal gifts, and how to solve your clients' problems? So when we were speaking in the group previously, I talked a lot about how your clients are all a version of a former version of you, someone who hasn't healed yet, someone who hasn't found the solutions that you have, and someone who is not able to focus in because they've not been given the awareness that healing is possible. We're also going to talk about how creating a community will then offer a safe space for those people who don't have the desire or the ability or the confidence to share personally, because sometimes we need a group, sometimes we need a space to say, yeah, all these other people are like me. Awesome. I'm not alone. I'm not the only one who has racing thoughts or anxiety or feelings of being unworthy or not good enough, or just simple fact of, man, I'm struggling today. You know, sometimes we're supposed to put on a brave face and strap up our boots and just move on forward. But then some days we have to say, you know what, it's not like that. I'm struggling. So your community is where you get to be that leader and providing them that safe space. And then I'm going to show you how making offers can come easily once you know how to talk to your clients and speak to their needs. And that involves that safe space. It involves you being very vulnerable with who you are and sharing a little bit about yourself as well. Okay. So the biggest problems I normally see are people struggling because they don't know who their ideal client is. They have so many people around them. Maybe they use Facebook as marketing. Maybe you use Instagram. Maybe you use another form. Maybe you just have people in the office where you do it at, but you just don't know how to speak the language of your client's needs. And so that's what we're going to problem solve today. We'll each take time to talk through what our ideal client, what might look like, and we'll do that here shortly. Also, the next thing is that when we share, we technically tend to overwhelm our people and we tell them too much information about what it is and what we're doing and how the oils work. And they honestly, it's kind of like going to the store and asking, you know, why should I buy this tomato? Do you care really where it's grown or how it's grown? Some people do. Some people really care about this information. But ultimately, if they want a tomato and they're there to get a tomato, they just want the best tasting one. They want the one that's going to cook up very nicely. They want one that's not going to be soggy. So they're just going to trust you that you know and have that experience. They want you to gift wrap it so that everything that they need to know about that is just very easily put into their hands. Most of that comes through testimonials and your own personal experiences on what you've been able to see. So we want to share of a place of offering and attraction, not promotion. We don't want to have to pour information down their throat to get them to decide to come do this. We want to simply say, if you're struggling, this can help you. And this is why. I've seen this happen. I've seen people not have to take their anxiety meds. And yes, some of it's a little controversial because of the FDA. But when you're talking to somebody just naturally, how often do you know that what their daily struggle is? If you have people that are close by you, that you can talk to them out in the open, you can say this whole protocol really was able to save my mental health and save my emotional health and my struggles in that situation. So your story and the other stories that you have of your clients really do make that education piece so much better. And then the last thing is that we tend to talk to too many people. We try and force everyone to love us. we have this idea that if we aren't loved and we aren't wanted and we aren't like, people don't like our stuff, that we're not good. People not liking our stuff has no relation to whether we are good or not, to whether our service is worthy or not, to whether our product that we're offering is going to be helpful or not. It's just they may not know enough about it yet. So in the role that Karen is, it's really special because you can actually offer to clients at a discounted rate, and you can make it a time crunch. They've got to come in to see you quickly because you're not going to be offering it at this low of a price for very long. So I'm going to teach you guys exactly how those things look when you are just starting out in a situation. Like Sherry, we worked on that promotion, the $62 promotion, because she just wanted to get people in the door. She wanted people to see it and feel it and experience it, because she lives in a smaller town and she knows a lot of people that are struggling with the same things that she was struggling. So it's going to be really cool. Oops, I keep clicking the button, but it's not a button. Okay, so this is the first thing. We need to think about our story. Okay. So if you had 30 seconds to tell everyone, or to tell somebody, maybe you met them across on the side of the road, they were really interested, they could smell your oils on you. You looked like you were having a very calm, peaceful day, and you got to talking and you were just saying, yeah, this is what I do. What would you say? How would you tell somebody what you were able to do for them? If you guys have a couple seconds, just write it down on your paper, or just kind of give me your little spiel of what you would say that you do and how you would help them. I would love to hear it. So whenever anyone's ready.
I think I would say something along the lines like, I do a great technique with essential oils that can be um, devised to what's going on in your life and what you need help with. And it's helped to heal me in several different areas. I'd love to sit down and talk to you about it.
Okay. So don't go too deep into the technique. You just say, I have a great technique with oils. It's helped me. So you brought yourself into that, which is vital. We have to have that piece, because otherwise, why would you do it? Right? Like, why would you buy a pair of shoes unless they felt amazing? You wouldn't go tell somebody about an uncomfortable pair of shoes. You'd be like, these are amazing. I love them. They feel great on my feet. I can walk 1,000 miles. That's going to sell, right? So you in there, I love that. And then offering them to sit down and talk more. That's great. It can be connected to your needs. So the only thing that I didn't really hear was, how were you in the beginning? And then what happened? Like, if you had to tell me in 30 seconds, like, I was in a really bad traumatic car crash and I had to relearn how to walk. I had to relearn how to be able to do my daily functions. And the only thing that really helped me was getting involved and starting to use aromatherapy and putting it on my body and getting body work with it. So now I learned how to do that and I offer that to other people. That is going to catch somebody's attention. They're going to say, wow, you were in a head-on injury, head-on crash, and you're now here talking to me. You're not incapacitated. You're not paralyzed. You can speak fluent sentences and you're working. Like, wow, that really must work then. I want to know more. That's going to get my attention. So that's where the vulnerability that we talked about for 4 weeks comes in, where maybe you're not ready to share that story yet. Maybe you have no desire to talk about that yet. So that's going to come in where your confidence will build as you know that you truly did heal. That's not a fake story. That's not a farce. You know, you did that. So writing out that story, that's going to be one of your homework things, is to write your story. Where were you at before? And what got you to where you are right now? Okay.
Okay.
Anyone else?
I'll try. So I might say something like, you know, like let's just say I did this with a ex yoga student or a yoga student before. So like, I've used yoga in the past to help me relax, and we've done that in the classes and gotten great results. And I've found since I've layered in my oils and another technique that I have discovered, that I've got another way to deepen the relaxation and go in, become even healthier. And if you have more time, I'd love to share it with you.
Awesome. Okay. So yeah, you're speaking specifically to a student. So you wouldn't just tell anybody, you would probably just speak to a student.
Right.
You would probably be talking about how things are similar. We both do yoga, but when I added oils in, my relaxation, my students felt really a lot more calm. This is where something you could talk about your transformation here, or your students, because you're the one witnessing all these things happen. So you might have where students, your class size doubled because you started using oils in your yoga business. That's what happened to me. I was working at the Y. I was getting paid $10 for a 2-hour session, and I was making more money selling oils after class because I would bring oils to the class. And then so many people were coming. It was standing room only. Like that was one of my, when I was probably 6 years ago now when I first started. But that was huge because I was one of the only people doing that and putting my hands on and anointing and feeling for a person's pain. And I was witnessing deeper stretches. I was witnessing the people's ability to do things that they had never done in a class before. People coming back and saying, my wrist didn't hurt for almost 3 days after you put those oils on my wrists. And I was doing those heavy poses. So see how when you talk about the experiences and the actual what came of it, it turns people into like, wow, I really need to experience that now. I need to see that. I need to go do that. And then I want to take some of that home. So I love that you brought it into the classroom setting. So do you teach every week now still?
Right now, I've lost my studio, so I'm struggling for a space and doing it out of my home. And I've got the table set up in my home also. So, I'm envisioning a better situation for just where I can do everything.
Yeah, we can brainstorm more about that as well. And like I said, I started working at a YMCA where I was getting paid super, super cheap. Super, I mean, not even per person, $10 for a 2-hour time block. It was awful, but it was an access. It was a door opening. Kind of like how Kelly's working with these chiropractors, that's a door to gain a lot of exposure. So we could talk about opportunities that you have out there in Seattle and even consider what would be an option for later down the road.
I love the chiropractor thing.
Karen, I can tell you that both my chiropractors would love to have a yoga instructor. So you might want to check into that because the stretching is huge on the muscle.
And because you have that certification in yoga, that means that you are now protected. And it's not just someone who does oils coming in and trying to teach a stretching class. When we go later through these slides, I talk about using your certificates as a tool because that markets you higher level. People want to see that you're actually certified, licensed, that you can be insured, all of these things. So your time and your effort isn't for nothing. It's definitely worthwhile. The only thing that I would add there is that every single time you make a new connection, how are they getting in touch with you? Since you don't have an office, do you have a little QR code? Do you have a business card? Do you have anything that you offer them? Just because like sometimes in passing, it's hard to remember where people are at, like with a studio or with something like that. It's like, oh, I'm on this street. You can come find me. Do you have anything that you've had to shift into that mode?
No. Well, I mean, I pay for get oiling, but I don't know how to do it,
Okay.
the website. And I also have the my YL, and I just really struggle with the whole technology thing.
Okay.
Truthfully.
That's totally fine. This is me finding out who you are. So I have worked with all levels of people and I've built it up too. So it's the learning curve for everybody. It's constantly changing. There is a few things that have stayed the same for the past couple years though. So we'll get you on the right path. Testimonials and connection for you. I love that. So we'll stay focused in on that area. Okay, Sherry, what would you say? How did you get the gentleman to come? Is he the one that has the same situation as you, where his wife is suffering?
The gentleman that's coming? No,
Yeah.
he's going through a lot of emotional stress with family, and he has 3 boys, and he doesn't have they have shared custody, and it's
Mhm.
just it's a lot. It's a lot for him. Actually, his mom came to me and he suggested that he should come to me, so he did, and he has been coming, and he's regularly, very good about it. What I would say is talking to somebody. I always say that I'm a raindrop specialist because I'm proud of all the time that I have put into this. So, and I work with oils in a way to help with emotional and mental stress. I'm a caregiver to my husband, and I have needed the extra support from the oils. And I do have a lot of friends that also need this extra support. And I would, su- suggest to them, that we should get together and talk.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, so you definitely sharing the fact that you have these heavier burdens where you're not working full time in a studio or in a situation where you're seeing clients every single day, 40 hours a week. You're literally working 100% of the time because you're a caretaker. And yet you still have this side function, this side support system because you're a helper by nature. So even letting people know I'm here for you if you need to talk, and I've needed these emotional tools. We can talk about how you can grab some tools really quickly, and I can just show you how to do this at home, because it's very much so helped me. So your story is going to be integral, and I know we've talked about sharing that story is going to be really vulnerable because we don't always want people to think it's bad, but it's not bad. It's just where you're at, and it's hard to share about the truth, because we don't want people to feel pity for us. But
Right.
sometimes people need to know that despite the struggle, I'm thriving. I am, able to eat healthy. I'm able to care for my husband. I'm able to do this. You've got beautiful grandbabies, all that. So
Mhm.
I think your story is going to be instrumental, and your voice. It's there. I know it's there.
It's just getting it out there.
Yeah, it's getting it out there. So for speaking to someone's needs, the people that you're wanting to help are going to be the people that struggle similarly to you. Do you struggle with being able to be immersed in the technology world, And when we talk about that, it could be, do you want to come and experience calm and a stress-free environment? Because the world has shifted dramatically. It's very hard to be calm when you've got cell phones in your hands and computers in your faces, and going to a yoga class or going to a raindrop for an hour and a half or anything like that. It's like going on a little piece of like vacation time. It's kind of like going away and getting that immersive experience of just calm and relaxation. So really speaking to why you chose this profession. Sherry needed this profession in order to heal herself so that she could be strong enough to quit her job, care for her husband full time, and still thrive. Karen, why did you do yoga? Why did you go to the path of wanting to do all this body work? What part of you was struggling?
In my early 20s, I heard that it could help you live longer and healthier and look younger, and I wanted that,
Okay.
and that's why I started. I go like, oh, those people, oh, they say it's going to do that. Like, I was into health food, I was into being healthy. I was very health conscious at the time, so I just thought, wow, could be healthier, live longer, age less. I'm all for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Very cool. And then when you speak with your students or when your clients come, do they also generally have that desire to have that longevity and feeling more at peace with your body and your mind and your spirit, or do they come Do they ever come with specific issues that they need, or is it generally just that well-being?
It's a lot, it's maintenance a lot, like people that come monthly just for maintenance. And they're also interested in, doing, they fast and do juice fasts, and they're on healing journeys like that. Very health-minded people.
Okay, so yours might even be into a niche more of like detoxing and keeping your body in alkaline balance and keeping stress from, burdening your organs. Like there's so much that you can talk about that there, because it's so easy to not have that even balance, and it's so easy to kind of shift if you get stressed, or shift if you don't have enough time where you're not taking care of yourself as much as you need to. So okay, I've got
And then can I add one more thing, please?
Yes.
That also was for pain relief. I also, I had shoulder problems, and also that was one of the reasons why I started yoga. I used to think like, oh, I could go get a massage and feel good, or if I do yoga, it's like self-massage. So, oh, that feels good. And then the oils that you would apply for the muscles and pain relief. So I think pain relief is in there, and in my generation also, just people get more aches and pains.
That's the ticket. I think that just talking through those little bits helped you find that pain relief is going to be one of the major things that we focus on for you, because how many people go to narcotics? How many people have doctors that say, oh, just take some Advil, and then they have liver disease, So that's going to be huge, is to focusing on the pain area, because there are people that don't want to go do that stuff. They know that exercising helps, but maybe they don't know how to do a self yoga session, and you could teach them that online through Get Oiling, help them buy their oils. They can do it all at home, or they can come to you for a private session, and you could do a private yoga session with them, do the oils for them, or a raindrop session at your home. There's so much you can do when you talk about pain relief. So I'm really glad you brought that up. That's awesome.
Great.
Okay, let's move on. So part of the thing that I want to make sure that you guys understand is your story is going to be the backbone of your success. And when I talk about my story, is I am successful in coaching other people because I'm becoming what I didn't have. I didn't have someone guiding me. I didn't have someone training me. I didn't have a good mentor that was able to walk me through every single step. I had to fail a lot in order to get to where I was, because I just didn't know who to ask. There wasn't really this coaching mentality out there. So when I am focusing on gaining more coaching clients, I just want to embody the fact that I want to be who I wasn't, who I didn't have. And that's what you guys are going to have. There were people there to really show you stuff. You had to kind of gather all the supplies and all the tools. You had to find out what you were going to do for your stress relief and your pain relief. So you're becoming that person that the previous you really, really needed. And that's going to be so important. Anything that you've healed emotionally, physically, spiritually, or mentally is going to be something that you can speak to about this. If you struggle with confidence, that can be something that you talk about. If you struggle with the ability to communicate effectively because you're nervous about friendships and relationships, that can be something that you talk about. Why you want to grow a community is because you miss it. You want community. Lots and lots of things here. And then we need to invite them to learn more. So every one of you said, I would love to sit down and talk with you more about this. Now, in this day and age, it's extremely hard to get a one-on-one relationship going with somebody. So it's almost always easier to say, can I invite you to do this? Or would you like to connect via telephone or Facebook or something like that? And that's the next step, is that we want to be able to not only tell us why, so we kind of talked about this already, but we want to be able to give them a place to go to. So we don't always want to tell people what's going on. Like this person, if I would have told, like I picked this photo because if I would have told this lady to come to my class, this was a Bible oil anointing class. If I would have told her to come, because she needed to heal an emotional wound, she would not have come. Her sister invited her. She was not able to speak about her pain and suffering. As you can see there, it even looks like she has tears coming down her face, even though tears are clear and you can't really see them. But she, at the end of the class, I went around and did the anointing for everybody, just like in the Bible oil class. And she was able to break free from something so big that if she was told that that was going to happen, she might not have come to that experience. So sometimes you have to say what's going to happen. So you might have an emotional release. You might have a beautiful physical euphoria. You might feel really calm with these oils. The raindrop might make you just feel so excited and energized. But then sometimes people, you just have to get them there to experience it. So testimonials really, really help, your own personal experiences, and then stories that link your story to their story. So just like how we were talking through those things before. She ended up becoming an oil member that night. She ended up she orders regularly every single month now and comes and gets her raindrop every single month from one of my students, because I don't do raindrops right now because I'm pregnant and taking some time off of body work. But she has, I would have never imagined, she was so against oils. She didn't want anything to do with them. If I would have told her a million facts about essential oils, she probably would have said, I just don't care. I really don't want to know that. I want to know what it's going to do for me. I like the way it smelled. My sister wears it, and I like when she comes by me, I feel good. But did she need to know all the details? No, she needed to know that she was going to feel great coming to this class, and it was going to be a great spiritual connection. And that's what got her to feel so confident in releasing and crying in front of a whole group of people there that night. So yes. And then the community part. Okay. So when I asked you, Karen, about what you have and how you connect with them after the fact. So if you were teaching a class, or if you were promoting on a website, or now we have social media, which is really cool. You can join groups in your local area, and you can offer information about how you are a successful entrepreneur. You're a yoga instructor. You have advanced training in body work. You have the knowledge of aromatherapy, and you can come do private sessions, and you have knowledge on what muscles create tension in the shoulders that cause migraine headaches. You know how to release a pectoral muscle probably, and be able to help people have better posture because they aren't rounding their shoulders. You have so much knowledge that if you were to create the confidence in social media and join little communities and groups, then you can invite them to your space. If you go into other communities, you can become part of this bigger network that we have on social media. So how is your social media going right now, Karen?
It's small.
Okay.
I'm very shy to be out there and toot my horn or be salesy. I really am. And I know sharing is a better word than sales, but
yeah,
my personality is yellow, blue. There's zero red.
That's
and
okay.
a itsy bitsy green.
Yes. I'm a very, very high yellow. I'm almost 75% yellow, a little bit of blue, a little bit of green, and red was at my bottom. I was never one to push it. That's why I didn't succeed very well with my upline in Young Living, because they wanted you to sell starter kits. And I was like, I will never push that, because that's not what I want to do. Raindrop is what got me into oil. So Raindrop was what got me to becoming silver, and then moving on and after that. And so what might be beneficial for you, and for Kelly and for Sherry too, is when you are on social media and when you're joining spaces that have like-minded people in your niche market. So let's just say you, Karen, you join a group that is based on natural living in Seattle. Maybe you join a yoga group in Seattle. Maybe you join a outdoor fun group. Maybe you join a community that has natural pain relief, and you're allowed to say, well, as a yoga instructor, I've seen this, and this happen. And that's recommendation. That's just giving people support. That's just giving people ideas. And then that creates a connection to you that doesn't even have to be out of your home, and you can use that. And then as you progress and as you feel more confident, you can make spaces. You can make a group, a Facebook group. You can make a website, which you have already with Get Oiling. Sherry has a Get Oiling as well. I don't know, Kelly, do you have a Get Oiling? Oh, she walked away. Sorry. Anyone who has a Get Oiling can have a free blog that's really, really easy to write articles and web pages that are based on topics that people are interested in learning about. And you can even do that in the span of a couple of minutes, maybe 10, 15 minutes after you know that someone is needing support. You can make a whole entire blog post or a post on in your Facebook group all about that topic. So making the community is sometimes the hardest part, because it's like, why would I make a Facebook group or a website or a Facebook page or an Instagram or Twitter or whatever account I have if no one's really looking at it? And this is probably the one of the things that means that requires the most consistency. And I teach a lot of people how to be consistent in this arena just by talking about everyday subjects and talking about things that you're going through personally. I don't have a script of what I'm going to write and say every single day. It's generally what is happening in my life is what I talk about. And that can be the same for you. We're all in this season change, but some people they don't have issues with seasonal changes. Some people love the fall. Some people love winter coming. Some people really struggle with less sunshine and less vitamin D in their bodies. So Kelly, do you have a website or a page or anything?
I do. I've got a Facebook page, Instagram, and then I have the YL website as well. But it's through the Life Steps app, not the Get Oiling.
Okay. So you have a website through Life Steps?
Yes.
Okay. Can you do a blog on there?
I've never tried, so maybe.
Okay. Well, that's something I'll look into. I've heard of the Life Steps app, but I have not heard if it's like customizable. There's so many things out there and so many people have, started and stopped things. So I'll look into that and see if I can help out in any way there. But what I recommend is, instead of talking to the in general public about what you do, you want to give them a little teaser. You want to say, wow, I just had the most amazing session. This client came in 10 out of 10 pain in his hips, was unable to walk, really had no desire to try anything else, but we got him on the table for a raindrop and he experienced the ability to walk out. Pain was only at a 6 when he left. And that kind of thing, if you share one tidbit of that information, and then in that same post, you invite them to a space that's much more private to talk about their problems, like a group, a blog post, an Instagram page, a Facebook page, that is going to get them to you. That's going to bring them to be like your potential customers. And that is how I have grown and scaled and shifted into gaining more, not only raindrop clients, like that's how I grew my raindrop business, was through social media and through friends tagging me and me posting testimonials and my friends sharing things like that. But then as I became more of a coach, because now I'm a licensed spiritual healer, I'm a health coach, I have a lot of different things that I don't always do in person. That has given me the opportunity to be in contact with my people every single day of the week. Every single time I want to log in and be on there, I'm there and they can come to them when they're ready. It's no longer me having to go out and fish for them. It's just me providing a buffet, and whatever they need, they can pick up. And if they want more, they ask for more. And if they don't want it that day, they don't take anything that day. So in the way of technology shifting us, it's a little bit of a learning curve. It's a tiny little space where you have to say, I'm providing a service. I'm here to do my business, and you're not paying for ads. You're not paying for newspaper articles. You're not paying for anything. All of this stuff is potentially free. Except your Get Oiling, you have to pay whatever you pay per month. But can you imagine if we just were consistent and didn't let our fears and our worries about what other people think of us get in the way of what we had to share? How many of you have a thought and they're like, I really want to tell somebody about that? And then how often do you actually tell them?
I'm expert at talking myself out of doing the thing.
Okay, so we have an expert of talking out over here. And then we have Sherry, who loves writing blog posts, but not sharing them. I'm just joking. I love you. I love you. I love you. I've been working with Sherry for 2 years, so I feel like we have this relationship now. How about you, Kelly? Do you ever feel like you want to share something, but you just aren't confident, or you feel like nobody is going to listen?
No, I'm that opposite one. I run my mouth all the time. And
Okay.
so, and I work full time at a car dealership in sales. So I've been in sales for probably 25 years. So it comes from that. So I'm at the point in my life where you either love it or you don't like it. I don't care.
Yeah. Good. Good.
and it, and everybody at work, they, especially right now because of Halloween coming up, they're all laughing because I say I do hocus pocus and all that kind of stuff. But I'm like, yeah, I do, and it works. So if you want to come on.
Yes. Yes. So maybe just translating that sales skill into shifting it into how we get it to your market and how do we get to your people is going to be the step that you have to take, because some of us are going to need to do all the different things I'm going to suggest. Some of you already have some good things in place, and it's okay. We're all at different levels, and it's going to go slow. It's going to go, we're going to do what you need to do for your business. The main thing is just finding out what our struggle is. That's why we talked about it right at the beginning. So
I think some of what worries me too is about legality.
okay.
It's just like, how much are we legally allowed to post out there and say, and I know there's verbiages we can't use, that kind of stuff too.
Yes. And that's why having that community, a Facebook group, a blog, is going to be really nice, because you can take it away from the main stage. Because not everyone's going to even care that you post on Facebook. But if you want to talk about something a little bit more, you can link it to a blog post, or you can link it to a group and your post in that group. The only thing you have to be careful about is making sure that you are not saying cures, treats, all of that type of stuff. But if you have a testimonial that someone came in with a 10 out of 10 back pain and they left with only 6 out of 10 back pain, and they came back the next week and it never went back up to 10 out of 10, that's not saying anything legal issues. So
Okay.
that's something that we can work on together if you feel like you need that. Just getting your testimonials, gathering the graphics that it takes to show people what's happening in your clinic, in your office.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's great that you have that sales under you. I love it. That's awesome.
Thanks.
Yeah. Sherry, what about you?
Well, my blog posts, I can't figure out how to get them to my Get Oiling in Facebook. So that's why I haven't done it. And instead of asking, I just sit here and obsess about it and because I'm technically, how bad I am on the computer.
Yeah.
So that's the issue, is how do I get my blog post? Okay, I've got it written, but how do I get it to Facebook so they'll go back to Get Oiling to see it? And I know we've done it over and over and over again, but my brain just does not comprehend it.
Yes. Yes. And that's okay too. And I think that is something that is not as hard to accomplish. It's just the practicing, the doing every day. And honestly, you probably have so much on Facebook that you could easily just make an entire library of blog posts. It just is going to take you practice and practice and practice to get those up there. And that's a great practice, because it's already made. Your words are already written. Your pictures are already there. We just got to do it. So,
yep.
Yeah. Okay. So once you have your community and they're able to look at all the things that you can offer, it's going to be much easier to make those offerings and saying, since I've been sharing about this for so long, it's really, really easy to then say, if you're ready to enjoy this or experience this, I'm offering this to my community for these special prices. And like going to a chiropractic office, maybe they have client specials or monthly specials. For me, I always did a membership special. So if they were my Young Living members, they get a discount on their Raindrops. If they had only purchased one oil, it doesn't matter. They're still a member. They get a discount, because that's a big deal that they purchased oils from you, when you can buy anything online without having to go through a person these days. So your community is going to be like going to a store. They're going to be seeing you there. They're going to be learning from you there. And that is going to make it really simple for them to say, wow, I know she's the one I need to go to, but we just have to be able to say, you're here, here's the offer. you're here. This is what I can give you. If we never tell people what we can give them, they're going to be like, huh, she must not be doing any work right now. Or maybe she doesn't offer sessions, or maybe she's taking a break. So when you have offers constantly rolling in and constantly being shown, it's a lot easier than people trying to just say, so how do I get a session? If it's already there for them, it kind of takes some work off of you, because if they see your prices and they don't want to, talk to you about it, then you know that client might not be for you, or maybe they need a little bit more education. So it's nice when you have the ability for offers in a place where it's not on your public page, it's not salesy because everyone's seeing it. It's in a group where these people already want to know more about you and what you do. And if they get an offer from you, it's going to be like, wow, she just offered that for this price. I cannot believe that's a great deal. It's going to be like handing them cake on a platter. Of course, they're going to take it. And that's how I've had really, really great success, is just offering in a group. I don't offer everybody. I just offer the people in my group. And it makes it so much easier, because then who cares if they say no? You just move on to the next offer. So that is my tidbit for you about making a community. Now, if you really like using social media, I would say stick to social media at first. And then as you start growing this and we start building content, we can build the content on your website. Since all of you already have some sort of website, you can build them at the same time. You basically just post similar things. The only thing that I care about is if Facebook goes down, how am I going to have all of my contacts? So the reason why I love Get Oiling is that it has a contact manager in there, and you can easily make a page where people just go in, put their name, and they can get information from you and updates from you, and you have their contact information saved. So that's why I recommend that website. Facebook is great if you just want to stick to that and keep it there.
So do you have a Get Oiling account, Amelia?
I do. That's how I run all of my sales. That's how you guys purchase this course from. That website I was able to make in a couple minutes. A lot of people worry about their websites being perfect, beautiful specimens of art. I just use it for information. If somebody can get to my website and get my information versus not getting it, it's better than it being beautiful versus, just basic. So don't worry about it being the best looking, just really just get it out there and get your thing set up. And I can teach you how to do that too.
And what is your website? Can you share that?
Yeah, amelialasky.com.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. So the last couple of things I want to go over is this: offering a service. It comes from trust. The only way that you can create trust is if you make a connection. Nobody is going to know who you are just by posting an ad in the newspaper, posting a random sales sponsored ad on Facebook, even just putting your name out in an office setting. Or like, I know Sherry, who are you going to start? It was a couple months back, but you wanted to start working with somebody, right?
Yeah, the White Rainbow, that just didn't work out.
Okay. So it might not have felt like a good fit for you because you had no chance to make that connection and form a relationship. And so when you are trying to build trust and build this connection, it's often the familiar spaces that you already have. So people that you already know, people that already support you and trust in you, that's a good foot in the door. And then you have to build that trust further by branching out and offering yourself. And it's so hard when we feel like it's salesy. So we have to make it so it's not salesy. We have to make it in the form of telling our story so they can connect with us, making us human. Just because we have a business makes us kind of feel like we're on a pedestal to some people, like, wow, they have a business. They're different than me. They could not have struggles. There's no way that they deal with anxiety or stress or emotional trauma or whatever. And so we have to make that a real life. Like, I once had such bad anxiety attacks that I wasn't really able to go out in public. And when I talk to my community about it, they feel like, wow, if she uses an oil to deal with anxiety attacks, I probably could do that too. And that's going to make me feel great. So once they see you in their shoes, they're going to feel so much more confident that you can help them. once they have seen your desire to help, because you're offering your time, your energy, your attention, they will crave your help. They will be drawn to you. People will want to come to you because they know that you have not only been through it, but you now have the ability and desire to help other people. And then once they hear or feel the results, they'll know this isn't a fad, that the oils aren't just some woo-woo thing, that they can't just go get them from Walmart, that they really do need to be focused on buying that from a good source and receiving the information from people that are knowledgeable. One of their things that bothered me for a long time, being certified in care, was that just anybody can basically buy a Raindrop kit or a starter kit and offer oils to people. Now, going through care at a really early stage in my oil business showed me that professionalism sets you apart, but not everybody is going to follow that professionalism path. Not everybody cares about that. Some people would rather go to their family. If somebody knows you that you do this, but they also have family members that buy oils, they might go to their family member instead of you. But then they're still going to come to you because you have more knowledge than their family member. So even if they don't buy oils from you, they're still going to be really drawn to you because you have this knowledge. And that is all about how we are spirit-led workers. We listen to their needs. We don't just say, oh yeah, grab lemon oil for your indigestion or grab wintergreen for your joint pain. We actually listen to them. We talk it through with them. We anoint them and we listen to their body with our body. We listen to the Holy Spirit. We get the messages sent from the Holy Spirit to be able to get what we need for them. And when we listen to the prompting of the Holy Spirit, we're given the gift of grace that they too can heal and they too can be able to grow in their health. And that is just such a different thing than just random any old person selling oils. So you are all so much more knowledgeable, so much more gifted because you've poured into your gifts. And just remember that just because they haven't seen your gifts yet doesn't mean your gifts aren't worthy and your gifts aren't amazing. And there's that saying that goes, just because someone doesn't value you doesn't mean you aren't valuable. And so remember that if people aren't valuing you in your current season, it just means that you have to show them by gifting them. And it's just an act of giving. It truly is just an act of giving to show them that you have listened to the Holy Spirit and get you here. You will also know what to say with your clients because you have this innate understanding that anointing and helping somebody through this stuff is different than just saying, here, buy a bottle of oil. That's why what we do is so different. And then because we're licensed or we're getting there, Karen's under the student realm of it all, which is fine. You have 2 years from the time that you take your classes. Once you're CRTS and your LSH, that means you can become licensed. You can get liability insurance to cover you. And those things enable you to be a little bit more in the professional realm. It allows you to work in salons or clinics or professional places. And because you have that information, when I tell people I'm a certified Raindrop Technique specialist, that means I go to a training every single year because my license requires those hours. And not just any Joe Schmo is going to go do that. There's so many billions of people that use Young Living oils, but so few of us actually take the time and invest in this education. So remember, you got to write that story that you've done all these hours. How many hours did it take you to become a CRTS? How many hours more did it take you to become a licensed spiritual healer? And then once you get further along in your career, you have to take a certified aromatherapy coaching program. And that's another 75 hours just of knowledge that you're going to get. And it's going to put you above what many other people can do. So embodying this training, a lot of times I tell people, if you can just go back and write down all the years that you spent as a mom, all the years you spent as in high school and college, your advanced degrees, your advanced trainings, write it all down. And then total up, if you even know the cost of what that took you to date, what that cost you to do. If you have all that knowledge, that's so many years of investment. And just because you don't have success in this moment doesn't mean that you haven't invested and you don't have that knowledge in your background. So as a licensed spiritual healer and a CRTS, you have something more to offer people because you've been given the tools to do the work that's a little bit different than the average person putting on oils. So making that offer becomes about your expertise and becomes about you have gone through the steps that it takes to heal, whereas your client is still waiting to jump on that journey. So if you can just invite them into your vulnerability space, into the place where, yeah, I took a yoga training because I just wanted to live longer. I wanted to have longevity, you know, with, I'm so sorry, Kelly, with her story, with going to a raindrop training and using oils after her brain injury. I mean, how many other things did you try before you tried oils, Kelly?
It was a circle of pain pills and muscle relaxants, and then they want you to take sleep pills, and I actually had the doctors tell me um, last 2 years ago, right before I started into the care program, that I was going to have to go on disability.
Wow.
And I was like, no, I'm not. And so then I met with Sherry Cummings, and she did the thermography on me and got me to using the right oils for inflammation. And my leg quit swelling completely. So that, yeah, it was just so many things you try and it just doesn't work.
Yeah, exactly. And with Sherry too, I mean, you quit your job. You totally changed jobs. Your whole your whole life changed when you started knowing that you were capable of this job.
Well, also that too, and along with Kelly's story about Western medicine, my hormones were out of whack, and I actually contacted Amelia about it, and she worked with me in setting up a protocol, and it took just like 2 oils and consistency, and now it's changed my whole life. It's changed
Mm-hmm.
my whole life with just two oils and
Mm-hmm.
some supplement. And she knows, and Amelia knows too what I'm going through with my thyroid, and getting the doctors to listen to is just, it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really tired of listening to all of it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, the oils and I think Raindrop are such a healing modality that there's just people don't understand the full effect of it at all.
And I think that actually prompted you to go into and getting your licensed spiritual healer right after
Yeah.
that, wasn't it? Because
Yeah.
you saw how not only the raindrop helped you, but also this different format of coaching. It came from you. You were the one who found out what you needed. You know, I never want to be the expert of what my client needs. I want to know a lot about what I can do for them and offer them, but I'm not my client. I can't say, oh, you need to do this, this, and this. So when you have that advanced coaching skill of that licensed spiritual healer, you know how to ask questions. And that's why getting licensed has been such a gift for me. So,
And it's been a gift for me too, Amelia, because the one thing that I wanted to be was professional and ethical and all of that. And with the licensed spiritual healer and the CRTS, you learn all of that.
mhm,
And it is a lot of hours.
mhm,
And for me, that didn't go to school, to college, for their, it was a struggle, but the I did it, and I'm very proud of what I did. So,
yeah, heck yeah.
what about the? Can I just ask a quick question? The aromatherapy. Where do you go to do that?
There's a couple people that you can do it with. So I think yours is due by 2025, and I can get you that information. Her name is Shalace McCloskey, and
Okay.
she offers one. It's 75 hours, and I think it's around $500, but it has to be done like within 5 years of you getting licensed. So you have,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. So all of these certifications, they do mean something. And everything that you have in your past that you've done before, like with Kelly, she feels confident in sales because she's worked as a salesperson for years. And that isn't nothing. That's probably a great reason why she's had success. And now it's just how do we shift it into success and health, success in talking about this new modality. And it feels weird for people who weren't in that field before. Like with Karen, you've been in the health field for a really long time. So it was just natural to add all these modalities in. And for someone else, like Sherry, you worked at the bus barn, and I worked in a hospital, but I didn't do hands-on work. And so shifting gears, people don't see us as that. So we have to invite them to our world. We have to say, I've done a lot of changes. You might not recognize me anymore. I might be totally different than what you remember me as. And this is what I'm doing because of this. It helped me because of this. And it's all about that vulnerability piece that we talked about for so long. So I'm not sure if you were in the group when we started that, Karen, but they're in that my Facebook group, and you're welcome to go back and watch any of those videos on vulnerability too.
I did watch one. Yeah. I just want to clarify that, professionally, my job that gave me money, that was my income, is in nutrition. I'm a food service director in a retirement community. Like it's, I was like in another world, certified in a whole nother thing. And the yoga teaching was only on the side, locally through, different people that would say it might have been through the parks and service, or through the community college or things like that. Like that was my avenue, that I used their spaces for those classes. So and that all kind of quit after COVID and hasn't really started back up.
Okay, so are you still working at the nursing home then?
No, that I'm retired now.
Okay.
And that was kind of also due to COVID, because I was ended up being a traveling manager, went and started new accounts and, trained new managers and things like that. So that travel got shut down, and then that position got eliminated. So
wow. So you're shifting all the way from a new position too.
So it's kind of like you're like really important and vital, and then nobody knows you're alive.
Yeah. It's so weird. And having to build yourself up from the bottom, it's a humbling thing, because number one, we're starting from scratch, and kind of it's like how we were created. We were created from scratch, and then the whole entire thing expanded. And it's okay. We don't have to be perfect at it. We don't have to be this amazing entrepreneur who gets 1 million likes on Facebook and Instagram. All of that's really fake. That's like not actually how you get good clients. And I actually tell people, delete people off of your Facebook that will bring you down, that add to your feed negatively. Unfollow groups that don't give you any support, that are stuff that you don't care about anymore, because it's clogging up what you focus on. And so spend more time focusing on you and building up you than other people. And that's how you grow that. And then it's just such a great little rhythm. So I'm going to finish up here. So we're at it's already been an hour and a half. I'm so sorry. We got to get off. So the next steps are basically write out your story. Okay. For every person who takes this class, I want to know your story. I want to know, maybe it's going to be 10 pages long. Maybe it's going to be 5 pages long. I don't know, but I want to know when you struggled, when you had pain. I want to know how you got through that pain. I want to know the feelings that you felt. I want to know if you felt like you weren't going to survive, because all of those things are going to be part of your client's story. And then you need to start having the confidence to share with your audience. Okay. All of these women in this middle photo are some of my best friends. And if I wouldn't have told them that I was struggling and that how I got through it, I would have never known that they were struggling as well, and that they were dealing with pain, and that their hearts were breaking because their partners weren't supporting them. So many things. So sharing with your community is how you're going to create that connection. And then finally, you have to create that community. They have to have a place to go. We can't have a lot of people in our homes all the time. It's weird. We're in a new stage where people just don't want to be out. They want to be kind of within themselves. So you got to provide a community where they can go to and research and look things up. And that's like your Facebook, your Instagram, or your website. And when you do those things, you're going to slowly see that people are connecting with you. you're going to see that they're feeling really, really prompted, that you are consistently working on yourself. You're going to be the healthy one that they look to and ask you questions. Like I just posted about coffee the other day, and somebody said, well, isn't coffee bad for you? How are you drinking coffee? And I told them my experience. My body muscle tests for coffee and I can drink it. And I drink this amount of ounces per day. If I go over, I know my body feels bad. And I add oils to it. So I'm neutralizing some of the negative effects. Just talking about your daily life really changes a lot of what people see about you. And then if you're feeling overwhelmed, I have ways to help. The group is a great place to just start asking questions. I have a few things that I wanted to offer you guys. I have a marketing and story creation. So we spend some time together through email and texting, figuring out your story, figuring out who you want to talk to. And then I help you make some graphics and get going on your graphics and things. I'll send you the little write-up about it. They each have different price points. This one's $14. You get 10 graphics. And then I have a group growth class that I'm going to be teaching for all of October and then 3 weeks in November. And then it will pick back up at the end of January. And that one is all about building your website and your Facebook. And that one will get you the understanding of the technology side. We'll do things together on Zoom once a week, and you'll grow in your marketing on the technology side. That one's $89 a month. And that one is not in my Facebook group because that Facebook group is free. This is stuff for people who are committed and ready to roll. And then there's one-to-one coaching. I meet once a week with you. And then we are just able to focus on you specifically, emotionally, where you struggle, mental blocks. I do a lot of emotional processing with oils. And then we work on any physical stuff that might be causing you grief and not being able to move forward in your physical business. So that's an option as well. And that's $444 a month. And those are things that we can do anytime you want. I am having a baby at the end of November. So I'll be taking end of November, December, all of January off. But getting started in one of these options is a way. And then just staying active in the group, because it's really, really easy to see and just kind of watch what other people are doing. You're welcome to watch me. You're welcome to just consistently see what I do. And I always say, if this isn't the right time, that's okay too. You might be thinking that none of this is what you need right now, and that's okay. Just being here is such a huge vulnerable step in saying that you want to grow your business. And that, my friend, I'm so proud of you. I'm just ecstatic that people are wanting to be raindrop specialists, that they're moving forward, that they're getting ready to go, and that we're going to have more of you, because this work is so huge. We do so much. The people that come in our doors are never the same. You guys aren't the same after having your first raindrops. You guys are different people. And I just can't do it alone. And it's kind of exhausting alone. I don't want to be alone. So I'm just really happy that you guys all came in here. So take the time, write out your story, connect with me, send me your Facebook page so I can see what you've got going on. Send me some of your struggles. I would love to just connect with you after this and follow up with you and find out something that might work for you. And then I'll continue to have another series. Our next series will be all about creating connection with your vulnerability, but without sounding like you're whining, if you know what I mean. So talking about what you've had to go through to get to where you are and being really transparent that it was a struggle, but you didn't give up and that there's hope. So going into the holidays with hope, because sometimes people just don't have that anymore. And then don't hide. Okay. These are my 3 bits of advice right here. Bullet point number 3, don't hide. Continue to know that your story is very important. Nobody is you. Nobody will ever be you. And keep practicing your raindrop, even if it's just on your friends and family, even if it's just on your feet and you're doing it for yourself, your daily self-care. Just keep helping yourself through this. And when you're ready, and if it's not right now, that's okay. But when you're ready, the right timing will come for your business to grow and expand, because you're ready, because you've been taking care of yourself and doing self-care this whole entire time. So that's all I have for you guys today. I will send this as a replay. We'll talk a little bit more about the details of what we discussed, and we'll just continue having this conversation. Thank you for coming. As you can tell, I love these colors here, but please, please, please know that I know your story a little bit now, so I'm probably going to bother you. just because I want to make sure that you feel confident in your gifts, because you're not here for no reason. You're here for a purpose. And I can't wait to see what comes next. So does anyone have any questions before we log off?
I just have one quick thing that I was thinking about Sherry,
Yeah.
for her, was that if she had success with a sale before, then why not run another special now? If it,
Yes, I've been thinking about that, and that's what I need to do because 13 clients came. So, I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
it's time to do another one, a fall
Yeah.
special.
perfect.
Great.
And thank you, Amelia, very much, and nice to meet you all.
You as
It's
well.
nice
I
to
can't wait to see you in the
meet you.
group more, and we'll all share again soon. I can't wait.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Kelly, for coming. You have any
Thank
questions or
you.
anything?
No, I'm good.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, bless you all, and I'll see you soon. And have a
Bless you.
wonderful day.
All right.
Bless you.
Bye-bye. Bye,
Bye.
everyone.
Bye, everyone.